Morning all. Happy Thursday. And so we're going to talk about last night. We're going to talk about today. We're going to talk about how the preseason's going well for some and not so well for others. Last night there was one game that wasn't on TV that I didn't review, and that was the Flames and the Winnipeg Jets. It won't happen during the regular season, obviously, but during the preseason it does happen. Not every game's on TV. The Canucks-Oilers game wasn't on TV either last night. So the Jets beat the Flames yesterday 5-0. Vladar saved 13 out of 15, but reports are he looked good. So did Wolf. Wolf saved 9 out of 12. But it's seen that it was more on the defensive side than on the goaltenders for the goals allowed. On the Winnipeg front, Ehlers had a goal and 2 assists. Connor had 2 goals. And Riddick, the former Flame, had 37 saves on 37 shots. So yeah, pretty good game for David Riddick and for the Winnipeg Jets in general. So getting a look here at teams that are off to a good or a bad preseason. On the good side, I picked 2 from each division because there's 2 that are 4-1 or better in each division. In the Atlantic, it's Toronto and Buffalo, both 4-1. Toronto's scored 20 and allowed 9. Buffalo's scored 14 and allowed 11. So closer games between Buffalo and their opponents than between Toronto and theirs. In the Metro, Carolina and New Jersey are both 4-1. Carolina 24 goals scored, 11 allowed. New Jersey has outscored their opponents 13-6, so Devils fans should be excited. And hey, if you can keep that goals against around 1 per game, you're going to win some games during the season. Central, St. Louis and Minnesota, both sitting with 1 loss. St. Louis 5-1. 23 goals scored, 14 goals allowed. Minnesota's 4-1. They've scored 18 and allowed 10. And in the Pacific, a couple of surprises, Seattle and San Jose. So if the preseason means anything, we'll see. For these teams, they're both 4-1. Seattle scored 15 goals and allowed 7. San Jose scored 19 and allowed 14. So definitely higher scoring games for San Jose than they are for Seattle. But you're 4-1, it doesn't really matter. Now, it is, of course, preseason, but off to poor preseasons. I don't want to say starts, but we're almost on the preseason. Montreal's 0-5-1, 13 goals scored, 24 goals allowed. Tampa Bay 0-3 to this point. They've scored twice and allowed 14 goals. They have a chance to fix that tonight against a Florida team that hasn't had great preseason either. In the Metro, Philly's kind of on their own here. I mean, Pittsburgh's below 500, but their record's not bad. Philly's 4-1. They've scored 8 times, and they've allowed 16 goals. Chicago's 1-3 in the Central. Arizona's 0-4-1, also in the Central. No surprise to see them struggling. 5 goals scored, 12 goals allowed by Chicago. Arizona, 13 goals scored, 19 goals allowed. They are in Vancouver tomorrow night. Speaking of which, Vancouver 1-3-2 now after that win last night. They've scored 12 goals and allowed 26. So the over 4 goals scored per game against them is a problem, but it's preseason. And so you kind of throw your arms up and say, all right, well, we'll see what happens when the games are important. And again, Vancouver's at home against Arizona tomorrow night. So they very likely win that game and end up 2-3-2 to start the preseason. Or, well, for the entire preseason, because I've got it in my head like the start of the season. So to see these records, I go, well, this is just the start. No, this is the preseason. So today, we've got a game starting at 3 o'clock Pacific, 6 o'clock Eastern, which is the Ottawa Senators against the Montreal Canadiens. Ottawa off to a nice start, too. New Jersey gets to try to expand the record to 5-1 by visiting the New York Islanders tonight. That starts at 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific. St. Louis is in Columbus. That game starts at the same time. Tampa Bay, I should say, and Florida get started at that same time, 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific. Then an hour later, the Chicago Blackhawks meet Minnesota again. A lot of these are going to be agains, though. It's the preseason. They're not really worried about who plays who, it seems, in the preseason. 9 o'clock Eastern, 6 o'clock Pacific is the start of the last game of the night, which is Vegas in against the LA Kings. So 6 games tonight. Then we have games on Friday and Saturday. We also have National Hockey League regular season games on Friday and Saturday, so that'll be kind of fun. The Global Series gets started tomorrow. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section below as always. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe in the event you haven't done so already. And hey, thank you guys so much for all your support. I will talk to you again soon.